Hello people, I'm here in the world of darkness to tell you a little bit about the various clans that inhabit the world. Today, we're going to talk about the clan that frightens me the most. So much so that, I've been actively trying not to learn more about them. I mean, look at this house! No, this isn't a Jeffrey Dahmer original. For those of you who aren't familiar, this is the home of the TZIMISCE from VampireThe Masquerade Bloodlines. After seeing this, I'm sure you can understand why a lot of kindred dread the very presence of this alien clan. Really? See, this is why I did not want to talk about them. You talk about them one time, and then you have a bunch of weird flesh monsters following you around. Get back. Get back. Stay away! They were integral in forming the Sabbat, but now they're not known for their political skills as much as their knack for the inhumane and the sadistic. Despite being Sabbat, they hold themselves to a higher degree than the howling horde of vampires the Sabbat are known for, or at least the elders of this clan do. They conduct themselves with an air of sophistication, but one look at them can tell you all that you need to know. They are monsters who have not only accepted their place in the world of darkness, but savor it. A quote made a lifetime ago by a notable TZIMISCE named Sasha Vikos explains much of the state of mind of the clan. I will not make the mistakes my progenitors have made. I will not choose fear or ignorance. I will not cower in terror of myself, of who and what I am. I will not hate myself, nor reject myself. I am Micah Vikos, and one night the world shall know me for what I truly am. And what they truly are a detached lot of vampire society that, when not providing help to the Sabbat, prefer to stay sequestered in their havens and experiment on those wistfully caught alive. To begin the tale of the TZIMISCE, we have to go back, way back, to the second generation of vampires and one of the first that were embraced by Cain. Some members of this clan believe that the second vampire, Enoch the Wise, who Cain named a city after, was responsible for the clan's creation. But an ancient text called the Book of Nod tells a different story. A second generation vampire by the name of Irid, whose legacy can be tied to the Venture, Cappadocian, Bruja, and La Sombra, may have had a very pivotal role in creating the very first TZIMISCE. They were not founded in the normal way, which might give a hint as to their seeming alien ways that sometimes boggle and frighten other kindred. Irid seeked to purge himself of evil. He gathered up his evil using his mastery of the Prothean discipline and expelled it from his body as a viscous mass of horror. By defeating the human that consumed the wicked mass, he could in turn defeat his own demons. The man who consumed it was seemingly unchanged until he was later embraced and became the antediluvian TZIMISCE. Whether Enoch or Irid was the sire to their clan is slightly inconsequential compared to what the vampire did with his newfound powers. He left the city to find a way to evolve. Despite counting himself as a member of the third generation, he still wished to surpass the vampiric form, as opposed to the others who were stagnant in their ways. Over the years, he embarked on a quest for metamorphosis. He would use the discipline gifted to him, vicissitude, to shift his form in an attempt to find one that was free from his thirst for blood. Over time, he had sired many children, who also seek to better understand their condition and surpass it. At some point in time, a revolution of new ideas brought the older school of thinkers into a conflict with the newer class. When the dust settled, TZIMISCE had been killed. The story of their antediluvian is integral to a description of the clan as a whole, because of their need to not only experiment with themselves, but others. The fiends, as other kindred lovingly call them, are so consumed with pushing their flesh-crafting arts and moving beyond the vampiric condition that they have left most, if not all, of their humanity behind. One only needs to play halfway through VampireThe Masquerade Bloodlines to see some of the ruthlessness they are capable of. And that's what he does on a Wednesday night, folks. Wait until Friday. Despite their lack of general regard for others, their bodies, and life in general, Andre proves that the fiends can at least be cordial. A well-spoken vampire with an air of nobility. Remind you of anyone? Yeah. The vampire that inspired Bram Stoker's classic Dracula was a TZIMISCE. The place where the clan found a foothold was in the Carpathian Mountains, in Eastern Europe, not too far from Transylvania. For ages, they have ruled over estates and terrorized townspeople. The cruelty Dracula showed was nothing compared to the others. They indiscriminately pulled their subjects into their homes to turn them into horrific monsters, all in the name of knowledge and mastery of their clan's discipline. The golden age of outright torturing your townspeople is sadly long gone for the ancient clan. With the advent of better technology, these townspeople could better arm themselves against their landlords, flee, and also spread news of these monsters. Technology has not only hindered the group, but bolstered their knowledge. No longer do they have to experiment so vigorously to understand certain chemical structures in biology. All they have to do is Google it. Doesn't stop the experiments, just lets them know why and how it causes pain to their lab rats. Some of the more notable TZIMISCE who have found themselves in key positions of the Sabbat are Dr. Totentaz, a former SS biologist, Righteous Endeavor, a former witch hunter who has continued his penchant for zealous torture and unlife, Velia, who flesh-crafted his wife to his back, and Corinne Marcone, a New York fashion designer who sets the fashion world ablaze with her designs, which are made from a thread created from human flesh, of course. One thing that unites these very different members of their clan is their choice of a path. Many TZIMISCE spend their time adhering to a path of enlightenment. Paths are like a code of morality that a vampire adheres to stave off the beast. Those who often find themselves literally knee-deep in guts may soon give in to the beast and become nothing more than a brainless abomination. Following a path is a concentrated effort to stave off the monster inside and possibly control it. The guy with his wife on his back follows the path of metamorphosis, something that the founder of the clan believed in heavily, where Sasha, who was mentioned before, believes that through the study of death, undeath, and the soul, the beast can be conquered. I'm sure once she explains that to her victims, after torture or being turned into a fleshy abomination, they're fine with it. I'm joking. She doesn't care about them. Just her research. Most of the elder TZIMISCE tend to come from Eastern European descent, as many have family lines that they embrace from. The occasional terrified villager who was subjected to his master's torture as well. Of people to become fledgling vampires that are then used as shock troops. Embraced, then flesh-crafted to the limits of their bodies to be released on the Sabbat's enemies, until, of course, they're put down. The fiend's disciplines are Animalism, Auspex, and Vicissitude. Animalism, as we covered with the Nosferatu, is controlling the beast within. With control of this side of their vampirism, they can communicate with animals and will them into service. With enough skill in this discipline, a kindred can control Kine and other vampires. Auspex is all about the senses. This discipline amplifies a kindred's senses to an unnatural level. With enough experience in Auspex, practitioner can see the auras of others, read others' thoughts, and pierce illusions, such as those cast by the Nosferatus, obfuscate. Care needs to be taken, however, for enhanced senses also means enhanced reactions to loud noises and bright lights. Finally, we'll talk about the TZIMISCE's claim to fame, vicissitude, the art of flesh shaping. With any skin-to-skin contact, a practitioner can mold flesh and bone like clay. They can create horrid figures or beautiful bodies with relative ease. The most feared in the upper echelon of skills a practitioner can use is known as Chiropteran Marauder. A person is turned into a giant bipedal bat that, as the sheriff showed us in the Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines game, is capable of not only flight, incredible strength, and a supersonic scream that can leave even powerful vampires reeling. The fiends aren't just powerful, but intelligent creatures that have thrown whatever semblance of their humanity that remained after their embrace away. There is talk of their trademark discipline being a plague, but if the clan does know, they ain't telling anything about it. Similarly, there are rumors of some Nosferatu and other kindred disappearing in New York, and a strange fungus. The TZIMISCE are known for their great constructs, whether they are made of stone or flesh. But one vampire who will tell anybody that'll listen says that it's their antediluvian ascending to a higher form. But we all know the third generation vampires long since dead, right? Regardless, the TZIMISCE respect some vampires. They say that the members of the Gangrel clan command fierce power, but wield it with little more than a primitive will. As much praise as another clan will get, but another clan draws their ire. The Tremere are referred to as the gout of corruption that issues forth from a lance boil. Only they have none of its charisma. What could they have possibly done to the fiends? Maybe we'll find out on the next episode. Good evening.